let me talk about our products here a little bit and kind of how we fit within the ag retail environment. And I say ag retail, no, you're not all ag retailers, but the preponderance of the agronomy community in this market is ag retail, but a lot of this fits within crop consulting firms and other types of precision ag offerings. When we came out with Summit, and we've got Summit Pro and we've got Summit Basic, and we thought that you were going to deploy Summit Pro with all the salesmen and agronomists in the company, and that the farmers would have Summit, and both would collect data and sync data back and forth, and all the agronomists would be placing farm right orders and everything. Well, that's not the way it worked out. All right? Our tools today, Summit and Farm Right, are really positioned with the precision ag technician. And we have a kind of hub and spoke thing going on out there where people are feeding data into this central place. Somebody's importing the data. They're then making paper output to go to the salesmen and farmers, and they're talking about it and calling back in changes to fertilizer recs and so on. One of the things we're excited about today is the movement to Cirrus. Right? Getting Cirrus as a mobile tool on the iPad positioned with agronomists and salesmen within the organization so that they can interact with this data digitally. All right? So they've got on their mobile device, they've got the same growers, farms, and fields that exist back in the Summit installations. They're out there scouting and writing pesticide recommendations and editing fertilizer recs and doing that on the iPad, out in the field, on or offline, and interacting with the grower and staying in sync back with the main office. Then the next piece that we're going to add, we're going to talk about this later today, is moving up into the corporate level here, is a new offering called SST Analytics. So, and we've been talking about the data aggregation and reporting side for a long time, but we're finally to the point where we're really starting to bring some solutions to you in this regard. And what we're talking about here is the ability for management within the company to be able to log into this SST Analytics product and get access to the data across the organization so that they can see how many acres are in each county, how that marries up with how many acres have been planted in that county to understand market share, getting into performance data of yield by hybrid, by soil type across the organization, be able to query that by state and county and so on. Be able to look at scouting activities across the company and that kind of thing. So we'll introduce SST Analytics later today. And then an important group in this, of course, is the grower. And today, the grower has not been real engaged in the process. They're still, they're mostly relying on the service provider to do this all for them, and they're not engaged in the technology platform. And while every grower doesn't want to dive in and really manage the data themselves, almost all of them can surely benefit from having access to their data. And so we've got a product called the SST Viewer that you can, from Summit, you can create an online account for your farmer. You can select what fields you want to share with them, what data types, and then growers can log into that and view all of the data that exists within your copy of Summit. And in the future, we see the farmer picking up Cirrus and engaging with Cirrus and being able to interact digitally here and be able to add new data. So when they go out and plant soybeans, they can record what variety they put out and at what rate, and they can record spraying activities that sync right back to the agronomist. And when the agronomist is out there scouting and writing recs, that can show up on the grower's phone, and he can look at that and accept or reject that recommendation, and you get feedback as the agronomist. And we think it's important that we create an ecosystem here that really deals with all four of these parties within this ag retail environment. And one thing that I really like about this is that the workload can be split up based on how much each party wants to do. The grower could just view things, or he could do some basic record keeping, but he can rely on the agronomist to do a lot of the scouting and record keeping activities and so on, and edit and export recommendations. And then there's a precision ag technician back there running farm right that can deal with all the things a salesman doesn't want to be burdened with, right? Importing as applied data and running farm right orders and map books and things like that. And then the corporate side that then has, for the first time, insights into the data across the company and oversight and so on. So those green things, that's what SST is doing. That's what we're good at. We're going to continue to build geospatial, agronomic, record keeping, and processing tools. But you know what? We're not the nitrogen modeling guys. We're not the logistics guys. We're not the imagery processing people. We can't be everything to everybody, right? And you don't want us to try. I mean, we tried logistics, and it's not that we couldn't do it if we set our mind to it. It's just that that's not what we get out of bed in the morning excited about, right? And so it flounders and whatever. And there are people like Clay Rossi from AgSync that get out every day fired up about logistics. Well, let's let him do that part. Adapt in on nitrogen modeling, drone deploy on UAV image processing. These guys are going to come up here and talk later today about how they're implementing AgX APIs to bolt their products onto our ecosystem and give you access to their technology in a way that is truly seamlessly integrated with your data. Not talking about sending something, some shape file over to some other system or downloading and uploading files and all this stuff. I'm talking true synchronization between systems.